Hello everyone, Phoenix Philly here, and welcome back to another Let's Play, Let's Talk. We're here, we're about to remove some alfalfa. If I remember how to work this thing. Let's throw up this so we can figure it out. To cut grass. I hope it cuts alfalfa too. There's only one way to find out. It does. Bada bing, bada boom. Alright, so I don't know what to talk about. I've covered the stuff on my mind. Some suggestions, if you guys have any, would be much appreciated. I was thinking about friendships, but I don't have anything on my mind right now. So I'm gonna have to sit down and focus on that one because for a topic that serious, I want it to take time and collect my thoughts and say what I actually want to say, and not miss something or sound really dumb when I with some of the things I say. So let's make this YouTube part 2, because there were some things in the last video that I left out that I should address, and there's been some other things that popped up, so I wanted to address them. First things first, something was mentioned about networks. To me, and for other YouTubers, even like some bigger YouTubers, networks to me are just a huge scam. My favorite YouTuber, two of my favorite YouTubers actually, Generic B and B-Dubs, have come right out and said how big of a scam that networks really are. If you guys don't know what network is basically once you get so high in YouTube and people see that there's money to be made off your channel, they will offer you a partnership with a network, and they promise you all kinds of things, like free music to use, free graphics, and so on and so forth. I should have turned there. Sorry. The only thing really that network would be good for is if you get copyright strikes, they will help you take care of it with YouTube. But again, that's nothing you can do by yourself. It's just having a network to back you up is a little bit more easier on you than what doing it yourself would be. Anyway, so networks, I really think they're a scam, because I know good friends that have been part of networks and they've been ripped off completely. Yeah, first off, they take 40% of after you get a certain amount on your video. Sorry, this is all on top of my head, so I'm trying to like process it and say it, and it's coming out faster than I can explain it. But basically, your video makes X amount of money. From that X amount, YouTube will take 40% automatically. So you're left with 60%. So then, if you're part of a network will take another 40% from your 60%. So you're left with that 60% after that. So I mean, they take a good chunk of your money, and you can talk them down. I think the lowest I've heard was like 70-30 or 80-20. Yeah, 80-20 I think. So you get 80% of your money, but they still get 20%. But they don't really offer you anything that you can't do yourself. Music, okay. They offer music that you can use. You can find a ton of free music to use across the internet. Heck, YouTube actually has its own audio library, and some of that music is great. Like, they got some great hard rock and heavy metal ones. They got some great country sounding ones. They have some really nice hip hop ones. I'm not even a hip hop fan, but they do have some really nice hip hop ones. They're not like well-known bands or anything, but their music, they're free, royalty-free music that you can use in your videos without having to pay to use that song. networks just offer you a little bit bigger of a selection, and still it's not that great of a music. Whereas, I can find something just as good as quality as what that network's offering somewhere else on the internet, and without giving them 40% of my earnings. What else they offer? Free graphics. Okay, maybe you're not good at making graphics. You probably have a friend that is. Like, my graphics, like all my thumbnails, I do myself with paint.net. I don't need anyone to do thumbnails for me. My channel art and avatar were created for me by someone that asked me to look into joining their network. And, I told them, to be honest with you, I don't want to be a part of a network. And they said, that's all right. You can still use it. Thank you for your time. So I was like, sweet. So, yeah, I got it for free. But, I mean, I think the lowest one I found was like $30, and you get everything you would need: an overlay, you get channel art, icon, all that stuff for like $30. It's not super expensive, and that's a one-time fee. I mean, you don't have to give them 40% of your money every freaking month. So, again, way cheaper just to do it yourself. What else do they offer? Offer to help your channel grow, but what they're leaving out there is they encourage the other network members to subscribe to your channel. Pretty much it's like a sub for sub sort of deal. So you're not guaranteed to have the other network members subscribe to you, and after they do, and they you subscribe back to them, most of the times they will unsubscribe, so you don't grow whatsoever. Matter of fact, and I'm sorry, lady, if you didn't want me to say this, and she probably won't watch this anyway, but she was part of a network that, from the time she was in the network, she never broke 100 subscribers. Now look where she's at. She's at over 500. Okay? She grew more out on her own than she did under this network. And the whole reason why she even got signed up for a network is her friend convinced her to sign up, so he got a bonus. He got so much of a bonus for her signing up. That's how these networks work. So most of the time, people who are contacting you about joining a network are not even from, like, they don't even work for the network. They're just signed to the network and are trying to get like a little bonus, for themselves, which is just is sad that you have to do that to other people. But yeah, it's not worth it whatsoever. Not worth it at all. Like I said, the only thing that I see that could come in handy is if you got copyright strikes. But then again, all you had to do is follow YouTube's copyright policies, and you will never have a problem with copyright notices. I've had some, and I've disputed them on my own, and have had no problems with it. If I know it's something like Car Mechanic Simulator, some of their music in my old videos is now getting flagging, and I just delete the video, and there's no problems whatsoever. Cause nobody's watching them videos anymore anyway. So what's the point of keeping it and fighting it? But I've had like the one with Alaska peeing in the background. That one got flagged for a copyright notice. It's not a strike, it's a notice. And all I did was dispute it and had no problems. My NASCAR video got a dispute, and this is how corrupt networks are. Glass actually got the same copyright notice. It was from a network that was trying to get us to join them, so they flagged our video saying they own the content when they didn't at all. That's how corrupt networks are. They will try to actually ruin your YouTube channel to get you to sign up. That's how sad it is. And I mean, they're corrupt. You don't need it. If you're smart about what you do, you will have no problems finding your own music, your own graphics and all that. You just, again, you have to be smart about it. And if you take time and effort into your channel, you will find it no problem whatsoever. I don't need a network. Like I said, I do all my own thumbnails. I do my channel art and stuff. I can easily. I'm thinking about doing it because I get I get like the live streaming overlay. I'll get what else? I'm trying to think of what else came with it. Like it had like like Twitter icons and stuff, all that kind of cool stuff for like $30. I'm thinking about doing it for my YouTube channel, just to give it, spruce it up, maybe for like 25K or maybe even the 50K. I don't know yet, but yeah, it's really no point of giving up 40% of your profit, your hard-earned money, for the most part. Most of these people that are side up networks are people that aren't even doing their own work. And that's another thing I want to touch on, is people that are just getting famous off other people's work. It's sad. And like the biggest ones I'm talking about are channels that do videos talking about how fake another YouTuber is. I see those pop up in my newsfeed all the time, and I was like, okay, I got nothing better to do. I'll listen to what this guy has to say. And literally, they'll take clips right out of the other YouTuber's video and use them and just sit there and talk about it. How is that at all legal to begin with? I mean, they're literally just using the other person's videos to get some views. It's sad. I've had people that take my little old me's ideas, copy them word for word to try to get some sort of fame off of it. And it's sad that people can't come up with their own original ideas anymore. They gotta sit there and not even say, this was inspired by such and such. No, they just copy it word for word and say, hey, yeah, this I did this. This is mine. I did this. It's pretty damn relevant in the farming simulator community. That it happens all the time where people will take somebody else's mod and upload it and say they did it. I mean, come on, give credit where credit is due. Say such and such actually did it. This is my edit. No, they'll just be like, oh yeah, I did it all. Nobody else worked on this mod, just me. Meanwhile, they're using, and Tough said it the best, they're using scripts and buildings and parts from this guy and that guy and this guy. Like, all the scripts and maps were made by one guy. They're just being recycled. But people are like, oh, that's my map. I did it. I created it. Or they'll take rims off somebody else's truck and be like, oh yeah, I did this. This is mine. No. You don't do that crap. Especially with people's YouTubes. I mean, you got people out here doing YouTube for a living. I mean, I'd love to be able to make enough money to do YouTube for a living. I ain't even joking. To be able to sit there and play games all day. Yeah, man. Sign me up. But no, I mean, you get people that you're affecting people's livelihoods. I mean, you're taking money out of their pockets. It's sad. And, it goes right back to what I said the other day. Have an original thought in your body. Don't take somebody else's stuff and try to be famous for it. It's rather sad that you feel the need to do that in the first place. Come up with some original material. There's people out there that will literally copy word for word what people do, and then give no credit at all. It's sad. I would love to live in a world where people just had respect for one another. I guess that them days are way too far gone, where you respected somebody's property, because that's basically what it is. When you do YouTube videos and you're creating videos, you're using someone, You're making your property. You're making it your video, and people are just trampling on it. I mean, you don't take like Campbell's soup, throw your name, rip their label off, put your label on it, and resell it to Walmart and make a profit off of that. People would call you out in a heartbeat. They quick as it can be. So I think YouTube needs to step in and just get rid of these idiots that are doing this crap. Because literally they do nothing but talk about somebody else's channel and they get subscribers. And it's mind-boggling. Basically, on a daily basis, they make a video talking about how crappy this other YouTuber is. And, how he's fake and all this stuff. Okay, yeah, it's obvious he is. Why do you need to make a video saying it? Why can't you just let other people figure it out for themselves? And he wants to talk about how big of a piece of crap that this YouTuber is, and he don't agree with anything they're doing. But you're watching the video and promoting his video. You're watching it and promoting it and sitting there making money off complaining about it. It's just like, what? Right now? Are you kidding me? I mean, come on. You don't get... I guess I'm doing the same thing right now, At least I'm not throwing the person's name out there, and because that says asking for a whole new world crap. But it's literally just have an original thought, guys. If you're gonna start a YouTube channel, make it your own. Don't make it somebody else's channel 2.0. Because you're not gonna build a channel off that by any means. You're just gonna sweep in people that like that one that person's videos. That's all you're gonna sweep in. You're not gonna make any a breakout off somebody else's idea because you're waiting for them to do it so you can copy off of it. You're not gonna. I mean, it's gonna fade. Why didn't I get in this tractor? Is there anything else about YouTube I want to talk about? We touched on networks. We talked on people covering other people's stuff. Oh, let's talk about trolls. This is like internet wide. This is not just strictly to YouTube. There are people out there that will come to your channel just to troll you. And what I mean by troll you is that they'll just sit there and repeatedly talk bad about your videos. This comes with like the hate comments. And Generic B is the best at this. He laughs at all of them, and I think he's amazing for doing that. Because I will admit, there's some that get under my skin, and I just, after a while, shrug it off and keep on going. But there are people literally that will come to your channel just to troll you. If you're starting a YouTube channel, they're going to talk about how bad your quality of video is. They're going to talk about how, they'll find anything to make fun of you, like your voice. If you're doing a webcam, they'll call you ugly. And women have it even worse. I feel so bad for female YouTubers that do their the webcams, because people are brutal, and they'll do it they're like internet bullies. They'll do it just to do it. There's no rhyme or reason behind it. They're there. They're sitting in their mom's basement. They have nothing better to do than try to make someone on YouTube feel like crap. That's your YouTube troll comments right there. That's 90% of what they are. So you can't let them get to you. You can't let them, ruin your day, because guess what? At the end of the day, they're just some keyboard warrior sitting there in their mom's basement with nothing better to do. You got tons of better stuff to do. You got YouTube videos to make. You got games to play. You got life to live. You got all kinds of stuff to do. So don't let some YouTube troll get under your skin and ruin your day. Let it be what it is. Some loser with no life trying to make someone else feel crappy about their day. That's basically everything. That's basically what a bully is. Someone that hates their life, so they try to make other people feel like crap. So, I think that covers everything I want to talk about. Or thought about talking about. Which is it? I don't remember. I don't know. I for these types of video guys, I really need your help with some suggestions. I've really got nothing left in the tank. You know, I had like stuff that kind of, you know, went together and they went boom, 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 and now I'm sitting here into this series, and I'm sitting here wondering, like, what do I talk about next? You know, what can I even come up with next? I get, and like I said, there's one I want to talk about, is like friendship, but I really have to sit down and think about that one, like I did with the yellowers. You know, get my list and my thoughts organized, because, you know, stuff like that I want to be something helpful and not just rambling like this one was. This was chock full of rambling and, you know, just my thoughts running wild on me. As you can see, I was getting so far ahead of myself and trying to explain it all. Yeah. Whoa! I don't know what happened there. But yeah, if there's any other suggestions you guys got, feel free to let me know. I'm always listening. There's never a bad idea. There is never a bad idea. No, don't let everybody ever tell you that was a bad idea. Unless you go through with it and then you immediately regret going through with it, then that's a bad decision. But if you got like or bad idea, I should say, well, yeah, bad decision. If you have an idea, it's just, you're like, oh, this is gonna be brilliant, and then you do it, and you're like, oh, well, this was not as great as I predicted. Yeah, that was a bad decision, not a bad thought or a bad idea. So feel free to suggest them, guys. I'm all ears. I'm listening. You know, it can't be too terrible. It's just thoughts and ideas. But anyway, that's gonna do it for today, guys. If you liked the video, be sure to leave a like down below. If you guys want to see more Farming Simulator Let's Plays, be sure to click subscribe. And as always, thanks for watching. Bye bye.